often tell people when they are dating that they should wait at least 3 years, at maybe 2, I would rather 3, before they make any major decisions in moving forward in their relationship. Most people don't take that advice because, you know, as we all know, that happiness that we all get in the beginning of our relationship, when we're in bliss and we think it's going to be wonderful forever, you know, we make decisions when we're in that state. But today I'm going to talk about what happens in 2, more likely 3 years in a relationship, and I'm going to use a film clip from the series The Last of Us, which I absolutely loved. But so we're going to talk a little bit about, you know, what happens in 3 years. And the episode that I was watching that actually gave me the idea to do this video was an episode with 2 people, Bill and Frank. It's a beautiful love story. But as I'm watching this episode, they showed the episode where they fell in love. And then the very next scene, it actually said 3 years later, they showed them fighting. It was just so perfect. So I'm going to share it with you today. But let's watch the first scene when, you know, we see them fall in love.
I don't have sex for lunches. Not even great ones. So if I do this, I'm gonna stay for a few more days. Is that okay?
Yeah. Yes.
So that was actually the first day that they met and they fall in love. And then this is what we see in the episode 3 years later.
Ew. Come on! Hey! Would you stop?
Do I ask for things?
Ever?
Why am I even saying that? This isn't for me. This is for us.
Who cares what they look like?
I do. Our home isn't just our house. It's everything around us.
Give me a break.
Oh,
I actually said out loud when I was watching this, oh my goodness, yes, that is exactly what happens in relationships. And I have shared the 3-year mark with, like I said, many excited people when they're dating, explain the whole concept to them. But like I said, they're in the happy hormone stage of their relationship. You know, that place that we wish we could stay in and feel all the time. So, it's hard to believe that we can go from what seems like one extreme to another, but it does. And that's exactly what I'm going to talk about today. I'm going to talk about why this happens, about sometimes 2, but mostly 3 years later in your relationship, what you can do about it. And at the end of this video, I'm going to share with you the benefit in your relationship of getting through the 3-year mark and why that milestone can deepen your connection with one another. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Pam. I'm a licensed psychotherapist and a couples counselor. I am deeply committed to helping couples grow their relationship. I firmly believe that when our relationships are thriving, we're thriving in our life. So let's get started. In the beginning of a relationship, often referred to as the honeymoon phase, you remember, I know I do, and I've been married over 30 years, there are intense feelings of excitement and happiness and infatuation. I must say that given life can be so hard, that it's nice to experience these emotions. Everything is new and exciting at the beginning, and the process of discovery can feel like an adventure and anticipation that enhances your feelings of attraction. You find things that you have in common, and when you find things that you have in common with someone, you feel so connected, which is what we all crave. So in the beginning of a relationship, people tend to focus on positive qualities and overlook or sometimes downplay potential challenges from the other person. I often ask someone in the beginning of a relationship what they don't like about the person, and I'm often met with a look like I'm crazy. And, all of your happy hormones are in full gear, such as dopamine and oxytocin and adrenaline. And these hormones create a feeling of euphoria and happiness and connection. And there's hope and anticipation of what your future might look like together. Both people, in the beginning of a relationship, they're putting their best foot forward. There's often lack of conflict. But you know what? People often ask me, how do I know this is the right person for me? And I often answer that question with, how do both of you handle conflict? And I'm always surprised that people don't wait to see how they handle conflict before they move forward in their relationship. Because conflict is, that's what comes. And that's what we have to be able to navigate to move a relationship forward. The other thing that's worth mentioning is that conversations when there is disagreement is often discussed in the beginning of a relationship as an interesting conversation. Have you ever seen the movie Before Sunrise? People loved that film. I think it actually got 100% on Rotten Tomatoes. And it's a film about two people. By the way, it's a trilogy, and I think I'll do a video actually about the whole trilogy, because it actually, in the 3 movies, shows all the stages of a relationship. But anyway, the first film, people loved the romance. This couple, they just met each other and they can talk and talk. Reviews about this movie said that the film and the dialogue was magical, and with rare honesty and hypnotizing conversation. My thought was that what would be magical and hypnotizing would be if a couple were together for more than 3 years and could still talk so freely about things that they disagree about and still feel closely connected. In the beginning, in the beginning of a relationship, shared thoughts and feelings are exciting and connecting. And after being together for a long time, shared thoughts and feelings and disagreeing, that were once seen as fun and challenging, is then, later on into your relationship seen as perceived disapproval, rejection, judgment. It just gets so much more complex as we move further along in a relationship. In the beginning of a relationship, people can talk about things without worry about how it could possibly take a wrong turn. And then, as you saw in the movie clip, 3 years later, and I did not put that in, that was in the episode, sometimes 2 years, like I said, but things erupt. The newness begins to fade, routine sets in, which can lead to boredom and feeling dissatisfied and perhaps not as connected. As a couple become more comfortable with each other, they reveal more of their authentic selves, which often leads to disagreements or disappointment. Hang in there with me. I'm going to talk about how to transition through this time and how to get to a place of deeper connection. After 3 years, couples may begin to discuss long-term plans, which will likely create disagreements again. See, this is why I say that how couples handle conflict is such an important indicator of a relationship and has a better chance of working out. Also, at the 3-year mark, there might be taking each other for granted and lack of effort to maintain their connection. And life can sometimes throw us all a curveball, which will impact your relationship. But like I said, all is not lost. Here is an important thing to remember. Encountering challenges at this stage of a relationship is not a bad thing. It's actually an opportunity for growth and a deepened understanding between both of you. By acknowledging the challenges that you have and working through them together, you can strengthen your bond and build a more resilient and even satisfying relationship. All of us want to be seen, that's so big. loved and accepted for who we are as a person, challenges too. And when we allow ourselves to be seen, when we are authentic and we work through our challenges with our partner, we invite the opportunity to be truly seen, and that will deepen your connection with each other. So how do you transition through the 3-year mark in your relationship? Big question. The first thing to do is to acknowledge the challenge as normal. When you recognize things are normal, it sort of dials back the fear and the worry. And this is when you learn that relationships require investment. And you can invest in many, many different ways. Learn about communication, triggers, which I have many YouTube videos about triggers, because I guarantee 100% triggers will impact your relationship. You can also accept the challenges, or accept that challenges are part of your relationship journey, and that can help manage expectations. It's essential to be patient and understanding with each other during this phase. Remember, it's about growing together and learning from these experiences. And if you are comfortable, seek out the help of a couples counselor. And I can't say enough about the earlier you work on your relationship, the better. All couples counselors will say that people often come in when things are so serious and, almost seems irreparable. But I've worked with couples who, they come in the beginning of their relationship because they know that challenges are going to come. And I can get to know them, and, without things being so intense. And the better I know them, the better I can help them. I just firmly believe that everybody should have a family counselor, just like you have a primary care physician. I love being a part of families and helping them, either as needed or on a regular basis. It just helps to have an outside perspective. But you can invest in all sorts of ways. You're doing it right now by watching this video. And the 3rd year is an excellent time to discuss and realign individual and shared goals. Whether it's about career aspirations, financial planning, or family planning, having these conversations can help ensure that both of you are on the same page. Most important, remember that the transition from the honeymoon, the beginning of your relationship, to the transition of challenges is a normal phase in your relationship. It actually signifies a shift from a superficial bond to a deeper, more authentic connection. And by facing these challenges head on and learning strategies that will help you invest in your relationship so you can navigate this stage successfully, you will emerge a stronger and more resilient couple. So thanks so much for watching. I do hope that you found this video helpful. Have you experienced the 2 or 3 year mark challenge in your relationship? I would love if you would share it with me in the comment section and tell me how you navigated this transition in your relationship. And if you'd like me to focus on a particular relationship issue, please let me know. I'd be happy to do so. Thank you again. See you soon.